Hi, I want to talk to you from the book of Psalms, the 62nd division of Psalms, verses 1 through 2, verses 5 through 12. And as a focus of our lesson, I want you to think from let your soul find rest in the rock. Trust in God alone. That's what I want you to think about. Trust in God alone. Because when you look at this book of Psalms, you'll see waiting on God, it prevails as a significant theme that is weaving in and out of Psalms. Several times, David cries out, "How long?" Then at another time, he writes, "I waited patiently." I mean, these are two different prayers, but they both definitely indicated that David eagerly anticipates God's movement and arrangements. It helped David to wait because he called God his rock. He referred to the Father, as a vast, immovable, and steadfast boulder, a fortified tower. David felt safe, and I can certainly understand why. David confessed his family and friends couldn't help him. He was wealthy, but silver and gold couldn't touch the needy places of his soul. He talked to his inner man, his heart. He decided he was fixing his eyes on God and him alone. New Testament tells us to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. The Lord supplied his vitality, and David understood that. He knew that God would be the fuel for his body and his mind. David also became a teacher and encouraging others to place their hope and future in God. And I certainly want to encourage you to do that today. You place all your hope and future in God and his son, Jesus Christ, and everything's going to be all right. You see, as a king and as a father, husband, and worship leader, David used his authority to speak with scores of individuals. He used his platform to talk about God. Just get a lot of people together and say, look at me and look at my beauty, look at my majesty. He got people together and he talked about God. And he called us, on each and every last one of us, to talk to God and pray to God because God will listen. You can tell God what's on your heart. You can tell God about your doubts, your fears, and your confusion. And I'm going to tell you one thing, God can take it for sure. And he has made himself available, I need you to know, to his people. Everybody that belongs to God through Jesus Christ, God has made himself available to you. And then David turns his attention to human nature. He turns his attention to people because he called people temporary liars and trusting in the wrong thing. He said that they advance dishonestly and sometimes using weaker souls. David warned about wealth. Too many people, you know that's right, set their hearts on money or material gain. But Jesus told us to seek ye first the kingdom of God. And he wisely counseled David us that make this your joy. I'm talking about God being your rock. Make this the joy and hope of your life. Material gain does not assure one's security. The Lord ain't watching. The watchman watches in vain, the Bible says. No one can hold on to money, not in this life or even in the next. And so David warns you, don't become proud. Because you got to remember, David ruled a wealthy, powerful nation. Yet he had no doubt that this was God wealth, and truly he was right. All the silver and gold belonged to God. All the world they dwell therein, and the cattle on 1,000 hills, the Bible said. And not only was it God's wealth, but it's God's power. You see, David looked to the source of his existence, and his success and his breath. I know lots of you want to take credit for everything that happened good. I did it. I made this money. I got this education. No, but you got to look to the source. You got to look to the one who's sustaining your existence. He's the source of your success in the very next breath that you take. Many words could describe today's society, but if there's one slang expression, is angst. It means anxious or irritation, restlessness, and seeing the world as a dark and hopeless place. But David reminds us to be still and be quiet and find rest for our restlessness in God. See him as a solid place to plant your feet. See God as your rock. Listen, focus. Let your soul find rest in the rock. And remember, trust in God alone. This is Pastor Keith DeForest, and I want to encourage you with these words that God pays the highest wages for labor. And I want to encourage you to keep looking up. Keep looking up. Keep looking up because you can see God looking down. God bless you. Till we meet again, you are dismissed. Go in peace.